it's Sophia, and today I'm going to be doing a story time video! I'm sure many of you can relate, so yeah! So last week I went to the Zenith tour thing at Barnes & Noble at the Grove with Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings, who obviously wrote the book, and Christine, who was moderating it, and I was so excited. I can't even begin to tell you. I was so excited. And so I get there, and I had a plan. Before I got there, I was gonna say a couple of jokes, I was gonna make them laugh, we were gonna have like a short conversation, because I wasn't gonna take up too much of their time, but like, they maybe possibly like check out my videos. That was the hope. The goal was to like actually have a conversation, because you guys, if you watch the BookTube newbie tag, you probably know that when it comes to people who I really admire, I am not good at starting conversations, or you know, like speaking and like having words come out of my mouth. I'm more like this when it comes to people I admire, just hi, yeah. Yeah, so the goal was, I'm gonna have an actual conversation. They might possibly like laugh at a couple of jokes I make. I planned those jokes out. Yep. But you know, plans are great because nothing really ever goes according to plan when it comes to fangirling, does it? And so, like all plans do, mine turned out great. So it started off with a mishap with buying the book, because I didn't realize that you were supposed to buy the book there and get like a pass thingy and then sit there. So I go and sit down, and everybody had these blue and red wristbands, and I'm just like, do we need those? And they're like, yeah, you have to, you know, buy the book here and then you get a wristband, and I'm just like, oh crap. I bought it yesterday because, you know, Bookstagram! I wanted to Bookstagram it before I got here. So I had to sort all of that out. And then, but it's okay. I got back, I got a seat, I sat down to a really nice girl from Australia. We had a conversation because, you know, I'm okay-ish with conversations when it's with people I've never met before. I'm decently good at, like, conversations when I am not, like, majorly looking up to the person. So I was able to start a conversation. I made a couple of jokes, but we waited for it to start, and then it started, and it was great. And before I explain the whole Zenith thing, let me tell you that during the thing I started shaking. I was so nervous and excited that I literally could not stop shaking. And so the whole thing, it was funny, we were laughing, and then Christine asked the crowd to ask some questions. And so I didn't realize this was a thing. I had it planned out, my questions. Like, what am I going to do? I don't have these questions planned out. So I'm listening to these questions, and I'm racking my brain. What can I possibly think of? So to ask a question, because I need to ask a question. And so I think of something. And I think of this speed question. If your crew, or if the crew, were YouTubers in the Andromeda Saga, what kind of YouTubers would they be? And so I had it out in my head, you know, you think it, but then you know, speaking, that's a thing. So I asked the question, and instead of coming out like, if your crew were YouTubers, what kind of YouTubers would it came out like, if your YouTuber crew, I can't speak right now, wow, if your crew were YouTubers, what kind of YouTubers would it be? What would they be? And so yeah, it started out great with me stuttering and having to say the question about 3 times before I got it grammatically correct. Like, what the hell? So I asked the question, they responded, and then they're going to another question, and another one popped in my head. And I was like, oh, I have another one. So I raised my hand, and Christine looks at me, and I think she's going to pick on me, so I was like, I just have a... And then she points to someone else, and they start talking, and I'm just like, wait, sorry. Embarrassment, embarrassment, embarrassment. So they asked the question, raised my hand again. I have a spin-off question of the question I had before. And then I ask it, if your crew were big book lovers, what kind of books would they read? And then they start talking. And then I realize, one of the members is already a book lover. And we already know what book they read. And I'm just screaming at myself in my head, what the hell, Sophia? You already knew that question. They told you in the book that you like romance. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So we get through thing, and I haven't stopped shaking. And then it's time to sign the books. And it's time to sign the books. I'm gonna meet them. I'm gonna meet Christine. I'm gonna tell her that she's like the whole reason why I started BookTube. Watching her videos was my inspiration to actually start and put myself out on the internet. And I was gonna tell her, and we were going to have a conversation, and so we sat as people got in line, and we, as in Tessa, the girl I met who was on vacation from Australia, and we were talking, and then we got in line, and I got my name, person wrote my name, it's upside down, my name, so I could get a personalized copy. And so we're in line, and I am goofing off. I'm like hoping they'll see me, and that's something we can talk about when I get up there later. So I am like, and I'm like stressing. And when I stress, I always sing like Harry Potter in my head. It's either the theme song, or recently it's been Harry Potter in 99 Seconds. So I'm like bouncing and going like, there once was a boy named Harry, destined to be a star. His parents were killed by Voldemort, who gave him a lightning scar. Yo, Harry, yo, wasn't. Harry goes out, gets his rod, and Hermione forgot the whole prize. He played for Gryffindor. The daddy's way quarrel that comes into play. The sorcerer's stone is timid and Dumbledore. Ron breaks his one out duties, one on Harry's mortal danger. Tom Riddle has a snake inside his own secret chamber. Harry blows up Emma to come and take charge. Lupin is with Ratsman, now prisoner is at large. They do shampoo so they can't see the prisoner of Azkaban, who also happens to be Harry's godfather. I don't really get it either. So I'm singing that, I'm bouncing around, and I met this other person who was super nice. Her name's also Sophia. It was cool. We all loved Harry Potter. And then I get up there. It's my turn. I'm gonna meet Sasha and Lindsay and Christine, and I'm excited. And I get up there, and Sasha's like, I like your necklace. I was wearing this one, my time turner. I was like, oh, thank you. And then I made my joke, and they laughed. I was hoping Christine would notice, but she was on her phone. But I got my book signed, and then it happened. The plan started to go all wrong. So I was supposed to tell, since I read all of Zenith before the thing, so I can tell Sasha and Lindsay how much I love the book, and maybe we could have a short discussion about it. And you know, my all thoughts emptied out of my brain, and I just yeah, I did it. I was like, oh, thanks. Made the joke. They laughed, and I laughed because I could not think of anything else to say, even though I had planned it out. So I get to the end of the line, and I'm past a pen, and Zenith is sitting out, and this person just wrote something in. I'm handed the pen, and I'm looking around, like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Because this is the first time I've ever been to, like, a book tour signing thing. I have no idea what to do. So I'm just holding this pen and looking around like, somebody, please help me. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this. And so Christina's standing there on her phone, and I'm like, and she says, and she tells me that I'm supposed to sign it. I was like, oh, okay. So I start signing it. I start writing like a note saying how much I love Zenith and how much I love their videos. And then I ran out of space on the bottom of the page because, you know, I can't estimate the space I need. And then on the first word, I started writing, this was an amazing book, and I didn't even spell this right. And I tried to make a joke about that, but, you know, it didn't work. It didn't work, and then I ran out of space, so I, like, ended it halfway through my sentence and just went, SB. And then I kind of, like, stood there for a second, hoping Christine would look up, and so I could, like, talk to her, but then, because I couldn't initiate conversation anymore, even though I had it all planned out, but she didn't hear my jokes, and so I didn't know what to do. So I'm 7 again. I'm 7, I'm standing there, I can't speak, I don't know how to speak, and then I just sort of walk away. But I still kind of want to talk to her, so I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like standing there off to the side. And Natasha from Taunton Police, who is super nice, by the way, they're all super nice, she comes over and it's like, do you want a picture? And I'm like, obviously I want a picture, but I don't want to say that, right? So I'm like, oh no, they're doing stuff right now because Christine's still on her phone. And I didn't want to like stop her from being on her phone, and Lindsay and Sasha are already signing other books, so I'm just like, no, it's okay, they're doing something. And so Natasha's like, no, do you want it signed? And I say no again, and then she asked again, and I'm just like, and she says, oh yeah, and she figures, she knows that I do. So she pulls me up, and so we get up there, and they're like, you didn't get a photo? And I'm like, no! And it's like, 7, for the second time, I feel like I'm like, sweetie, do you want a photo? Yes, please. So I get up there, I'm about to get the photo, and then Christine looks up, and she's like, do you want me to be in the photo? And I mean to sound nice, but it's like sounded like in my head, like when I spoke it sounded like really harsh. I was just kind of like, yes, yes. And I was like, oh, wow, ow, no, that's not what I meant to say. I'm sorry, but I can't say anything. Ah! So she gets in the picture, and I get my picture, and if I can figure out how to put it up on the screen, I'll put it like over here or something. So I get my picture, I walk outside, and I realize my mom's still inside. So I go back in Barnes & Noble, up the stairs, after like trying to figure out how to get back down, because I went the wrong way, and I had to go back because the escalators are the bane of my existence. I can't figure out which way to go, which one. You go down and you expect to just go around the corner and then go down some more, but the other one around the corner is went up, so I don't even know. So I figure out that's close. I get down there and then I realize my mom's back up the top. So I go back up and my mom's like, oh, I want to talk to Christine. I want to tell her how much I enjoyed her Art of Seduction video. And so I'm like, okay, maybe, of course, I can like figure out how to speak and, you know, not be 7. And so we get up there, we wait for like 5 minutes, I'm just standing there awkwardly like, And so finally, there's a break of the people, and we go up, and I'm just kind of standing there awkwardly. Natasha's there, Christine's there, and so my mom goes, I really loved your video, the one with the hand touching, and I'm like, Christine has no idea what she's talking about, so I say, the art of seduction, and she's like, oh, and so my mom keeps talking, and I'm like, I want to say something, and then the conversation ends, and we start to walk away, and I have said nothing. And I just kind of like stare like a 2-year-old, just like. And so for the third time in 15 minutes, I am 7 again and don't know how to speak or, you know, actually form words or thoughts in my head. I don't know how to life. So we leave, and yeah, I was 7. Just kind of like, don't know how to talk, gonna bang my head against my bookshelf now. So that was my fangirl journey with meeting Sasha, Lindsay, and Christine at the Zenith tour. I hope you enjoyed my suffering. Like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!